And the sweet tooth interrupts and says, blah, blah, blah. Enough with the yakking. I need a candy bar now. And then he goes on to say, does it have that gooey stuff in the middle? Because it's got to have that gooey stuff in the middle. And he keeps going on. It is the cutest book to read out loud. Hey everyone, welcome to the Ciera 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 channel. I'm so excited for this episode because we're going to be talking all about Valentine's Day mentor texts. Come and join me if you haven't already. Drop a comment below and let me know where you're from and what grade you teach. I love hearing from you. So let's get started. My first choice tonight is this fantastic, adorable little book called 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹. And as you can see, we've got a family of robots here. So even your boys are going to enjoy this. I actually just read it to my son a little bit ago. Again, he loves this story. And it's about this little robot named Z. And he finds this letter in a bottle. And inside it says, love Beatrice. And he has no idea who Beatrice is. And he has no idea what the word love means. So he actually goes out on this quest to figure out what love means. Because his fellow robots, his family robots, they don't know either. So he goes all along this journey to figure out what love is. And he meets a lot of people along the way. And he asks them each what they think love is. And so it's really cute because you get a lot of different definitions from a lot of different characters. So like here the bird is saying, love is sharing your food even when it's delicious. And then here we have a baker and they're saying, love is when someone is patient and they take time to teach you new things. So you can see all throughout the book, we kind of get different definitions of what love means to them and each individual person. And then at the very end, he's kind of getting worried because he is hearing all these definitions about what love is, but he still feels like he's not understanding it well enough. Well, he ends up finding Beatrice herself, the person whose name was in the bottle, and she tries to explain what love is, but she kind of struggles with it too. So she finally comes up with a definition, and she says it's warm, it's cozy, and safe, and you'll know it when you feel it. So that night, since he's been on this long journey and away from home, in bursts in all of his robot family, and they're so worried about him. They're so glad they found him, and they brought his favorite nightlight, his bedtime story. They gave him a goodnight kiss, and he has this warm feeling all throughout him that he's had before. So he realizes that he knew what love was. It just didn't have a name. And at the very end, it's so cute. It says, but now it has a name. So it's just a great book. It's great to have discussions with your kids about what does love mean to them. Love means something different to each of us. Now, what reading skill would we use to teach this? I chose plot. And the reason why is I think this story has a very easy plot to follow, a very obvious climax in the story, very obvious steps to solve the problem. So you can easily go in and dissect the entire plot and figure out the entire plot diagram through the stories. Book number 2. Oh my gosh. Seriously love this one. This one's called 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹, A Love Story. So again, this one's great for Valentine's Day, but it doesn't talk about Valentine's Day. It's actually about these two characters, an ox and a gazelle, and the love between them. You'll see here in a second that one loves the other a little bit more. So it starts out by Ox writing a letter, and it's all written in friendly letters too. So if you need a friendly letter standard to teach, this is a great book for Valentine's Day as well. So Ox writes a love letter to a gazelle saying how much he adores her and everything. And you can see here, he even has her picture on the wall. That's very important. And everything. And Gazelle's clearly a very famous gazelle, and she has lots of admirers. So you flip to the next page, and you see her here lounging, and she writes him a fan letter back. But then you come to the next one, and Ox, of course, writes her back because he is so in love with her. And she writes back, but it's the exact same letter. So you can talk about to the kids, like, why would it be the same letter? Is she really writing these, or is she just really signing her name, writing in their name? So you can have a lot of good discussion right there about that. And then it just keeps going back and forth. Like, 𝗦ci just loves it when she writes back, but she is not happy with the fact that he keeps writing her. She even goes to say, like, there is no need to write me again. Like, please stop, basically. But he does not stop. Everything she does, it just makes him like her even more through all of her faults and everything. And then I'll skip all the way to the end here. He ends up taking a picture of himself and sending it to her and writing her again, even though she has told him to stop multiple times. And you can see she gets very upset. But then right here, she looks at his picture. And on the next page, it just says, Dear 𝗦ci. So you can make a lot of great inferences here about what's happening. And the pictures really give a lot of information. So you can see the 𝗦ci's picture up here, even though it's all been torn up, it's taped back together. You can see the look on her face, and just her body position and everything. So what is she going to write back? So again, it's just a super cute, funny little story about these two characters. They go back and forth. I already mentioned teaching letter writing or friendly letter structure with this, but I absolutely would teach perspective with this book. One, you have a character whose perspective changes about how they feel about the other character, and then you can also compare and contrast their perspective throughout the entire story. I have a feeling this is probably my favorite one. I read this to my kids, my own kids, every single year, and they love when I do the voices. For some reason, the big character in the story, to me, has a very Bostonian accent, like really, really thick. I'll see if I can pull it out for you. We'll see. But this one's called Sweet Tooth. Obviously, Valentine's Day candy, right? Chocolates. But again, this book does not mention Valentine's Day at all. It's just about this sweet tooth. So in the story, we have a little boy who was kind of the main character, and he is talking about this problematic sweet tooth that he has. He gets into a lot of trouble, but he blames it on his sweet tooth. And throughout the story, the sweet tooth actually has a voice. So you can see here the sweet tooth, the sweet tooth talks in all of the bold writing. So he's talking about how the sweet tooth is very nagging, annoying, and demanding. And the sweet tooth interrupts and says, blah, blah, blah. Enough with the yakking. I need a candy bar now. And then he goes on to say, does it have that gooey stuff in the middle? Because it's got to have that gooey stuff in the middle. And he keeps going on. It is the cutest book to read out loud if you're really good at voices. So it goes through a lot of different past situations where the sweet tooth has kind of gotten him in trouble. So here he got trouble at a wedding by eating the cake too early. Here he got sent to detention. And then here he is in the movie theater interrupting all the movies. And then he keeps going on, and he finally determines that this sweet tooth he's just had enough of it. So he does everything he can to kind of get the sweet tooth out. He starts eating all of his vegetables, and you can see here that the sweet tooth is very, very upset with him when it comes to that. And he does not give in. After everything he does, he's flossing, he's brushing, like he's really trying to get rid of this tooth. And finally, the tooth does come out. He loses it because he ate a carrot. And this part is so funny. So what are you going to do with that? Asked his wide-eyed sister. And then he said he opened his mouth very wide. Kid, no, not the carrot, not the carrot. Yes, the carrot, shouted Stuart. No, kid, no. Like, it's just a great dialogue and a really expressive story. So he loses the tooth, of course, puts it under his pillow. And then the last page is so funny. You have all the different types of teeth. Like, we've got canine here, there's a little dog tooth, we've got the baby tooth crying. And that's where it ends. It gets pulled. So, again, I am talking, this is one of my favorite books to read out loud because the character and the dialogue are just so fun to read. So definitely make sure to grab this one. I would absolutely teach characterization with this book. The sweet tooth character in of itself is one to analyze. You can even compare the sweet tooth to the actual little boy and figure out like how they are alike and different. How does the boy change from beginning to the end? There's a lot of different characterization perspectives that you can kind of go through or angles to be able to teach characterization here. So highly recommend this book. It is one of my favorites. The next one is called The Love Letter. So again, this is a great one for Valentine's Day, but it does not discuss Valentine's Day. It is about this little group of animals, and one of them finds a love letter on the ground. And they open it up, and it just says friend. There are no names. It doesn't even say who it's from. But it says, "You are a joy, a light, a secret hope, a safe good night, a face that shines just for me. When you go, I miss you so. Don't you know I love you?" And so this little hedgehog thinks this letter is for him, and he is just so happy that someone loves him, and it makes his day the best day ever. So he's so happy that, you know, he gives his friends high five, he helps his parents, he walks a friend home, like he's being extra kind and happy because he found this letter. But on the way, he drops it, and Bunny ends up finding it. And Bunny thinks that Hedgehog gave him the letter because that's who he was with when he found it. And so Bunny thinks that Hedgehog loves him. And so again, that causes Bunny to have a wonderful day as well. And this kind of continues on with all of the different characters. Bunny drops the letter, and then I think Squirrel finds it. So they all come together, and one of them pulls out the letter, and they all start arguing because they all think that the letter is theirs. And then this next little character shows up, this little bitty mouse, and he says, you know, hey, excuse me, that's my letter. And so they're all like, wait a minute, this is your letter? Who did you write it to? Like, because they're hoping it's one of them. And he admits that he wrote it to the moon. And they're all confused about why. And so they say, well, the moon is a really good friend of mine. Don't you have good friends? And they're all like, yeah, we have good friends. And so they're talking about this terrible mix-up that they all felt. But then the squirrel asked a really good question because they all seem very sad that the letter wasn't for them. But the mouse ends up asking, when you thought the letter was for you, how did it make you feel? And so they say things like cheerful, helpful, carefree. And they know that they're loved because of their friendship. And so they come to this conclusion that it didn't take a love letter to show them that they're loved. They're there for each other. They're already loved. So a great little story to talk about how you don't really need someone's, to shout it to the moon or to the mountaintops that they love you. They show you they're already there for you. Who is already in your life that loves you. So the love letter, such a cute one. For this one, I would definitely teach cause and effect because you have an event that kind of happens over and over again, but what is the effect of those events happening? So the letter keeps getting dropped. So, but what are the effects that, when Buddy finds it or when Hedgehog finds it? And so the effects are different for each character, but the cause and effect there is absolutely easy to go through and review with the book, The Love Letter. All right, we're on our last one. Another one, especially for the boys here, Zombie in Love. You can see here that this book is about zombies. We even have a zombie dog. This is a great book to make sure that your kids are really paying attention to the details in the illustrations because they give a lot of extra laughs and clues and details that the book does not give. So this book is about a zombie who is quite upset. His name is Mortimer because he wants a date to the Cupid's ball. So he tries very hard to find a girl to go with him, but no one wants to. He tries boxes of chocolates, but you can see, it doesn't say anything, but you can see in the picture that there are worms. He tries to give a shiny red heart to the mail carrier, but you can see it's a real heart. So again, the details in the pictures really take the story to a whole nother level there. So he tries all these things and nothing goes well. So he ends up writing a newspaper or ad for someone. And it says, tall, dead, and handsome. If you like taking walks in the graveyard and falling down in the rain, or you see what this is mirroring? If you're not into cooking and if you have half a brain, If you like waking up at midnight, horror films, and voodoo, then I'm the guy who you've looked for and I'm dying to meet you. So it kind of mirrors the, if you like pina coladas, like it's super cute. I don't know if the kids will pick up on that, but it makes you chuckle, right? So anyways, he puts this ad in the newspaper and it tells the person to meet them at the Cupid's ball by the punch bowl at 7 o'clock. So he goes, he gets his suit, he gets his cologne, and he goes to the ball. And he gets so excited every time a girl comes up, hoping that it's the one, and they all walk away in disgust. He tries smiling like that, but it still doesn't help. So he's about to leave when all of a sudden he hears a noise, and it's this girl who fell in the punch bowl, has pineapples all in her hair, and she was coming to answer his ad. And she smiled at him like that. So they, of course, fall in love. You can see them here. They held hands. But again, the pictures tell a little bit different than what the words are saying. They danced. They dined in the moonlight. Here they're eating brains. It's just a really cute story for Valentine's Day that, again, the boys will absolutely love. So this is a great story to teach problem and solution because there's technically one big problem, but almost like multiple problems and multiple solutions that he tries when solving the problem. So great one for teaching problem and solution. All right, friends. Well, those are my 5 favorite Valentine's Day books. I hope you found one, maybe 2, that you want to add to your classroom library and use. I'm going to be putting a link in the video description to a blog post where you can go and grab the links to these to get them off of Amazon. I found the cheapest price, so you can save a lot of money. But I promise you, I have some Valentine's Day graphic organizers for you. These come in digital and print, black and white and colored. So here's one that says, there is gnoming like a good book. Trying to say nothing. This one is crazy about inferences, where they can practice making inferences. And this one says, fall in love with a good book. Again, it's just kind of going through different story elements here. So you can grab these for free with the link in the video description as well. And I hope you enjoyed our video today. So thanks so much for joining. Again, if you have any questions or comments, make sure to drop them below. I would love to hear from you. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks, friends. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.